What's going on, guys? So today we're going to talk about my personal favorite gun, the Sig Sauer MCX. This is the Gen 1. I'm a huge fan of this gun. I even like the Gen 2 a lot. I like the Gen 1 a little bit better. I'll tell you why in a second. But for the price range of that kind of $2,000 range, I think this is the best gun that you're going to get for your money. A lot of people don't like it for the reason that it's heavy. Why is it a little bit heavier than the average gun? Because it's a gas piston operating system. And what that means is that instead of a gas tube coming all the way back and blowing your bolt carrier back, you have this little piston right in here. I don't even know if you can see that, but there's a little piston right here that pushes back the bolt carrier. The advantages of that are the durability. This gun lasts a lot longer. I've put 2,000 rounds through it. I do clean it most times. I don't clean it every single time I shoot it. With a direct impingement gun, you really do have to clean your gun every time you shoot it. That's nice to know that I can get away with it once in a while if I'm going out with a buddy the day, but if I'm spending a weekend with some friends and I don't have like all the time to clean it, it's kind of nice knowing I can get away with that. Like I said, I've put over 2,000 rounds to this gun and I haven't replaced anything except for the trigger. So the durability of it is awesome. When you shoot suppressed, the piston is nice too versus the gas, because when you shoot suppressed with a direct impingement system, there's just all sorts of gas coming back in your face. And don't get me wrong, there's some gas that comes back in my face with this as well, but it's not nearly as bad as if this would have been a direct impingement gun. Some reasons why I like the Gen 1 more than the Gen 2. Right off the bat, it's all black. I know that's kind of a stupid reason to some people. I personally want my guns to be all black. I don't like the gray on the Gen 2. Yeah, you can Cerakote it, powder coat it, whatever. It comes black. I like that. Another thing that's kind of a big deal to me is this stock. These stocks are very hard to find. I really like these skeletonized stocks that Sig made. They do make a newer version of it, but it doesn't have this cheek raise right here, and that is honestly a huge difference maker for me. I've tried the other ones where they're just flat out and then the skeleton stock is the same, but I really like this cheek bump right here. I hope they continue to make a ton of these because these are awesome. The only downside to the Gen 1 versus the Gen 2, I guess there's two really. And out of the box, the bigger one is the trigger. Right out of the box, the Gen 2 does come with a little bit nicer trigger. The Gen 1 just comes with a one-stage, like 8-pound trigger pull. It kind of sucked. I didn't really like it. That's why I put this Geisley trigger in there. Once you put the Geisley trigger in there, it absolutely blows the Gen 2 away. So not really a big deal if you plan on getting a new trigger for it, but out of the box, the Gen 2 does come with a little bit nicer trigger. The other downside is the Keymod. So Keymod is just, I don't want to say it's old and outdated, but M-Lock is really kind of what everybody's using now. Most attachments are coming in M-Lock. You can find them in Keymod, but I've noticed it's a little bit harder to. So, I mean, I've had this on here since the day I bought the gun. I haven't never even taken it off, and it's still pretty tight. So Keymod does hold up. It doesn't give me any problems. It is just a little bit more annoying to try and find something to adapt with the Keymod. Like as you see, I had to put a little pick rail here in order to put this on there. This foregrip was a pick rail foregrip though, so doesn't really prove the point I was trying to make, but it is a little annoying to have the Keymod sometimes. I guess to talk about how I have this outfitted here, now that we've talked about the differences between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2, I decided to put the EOTech XPS2 on there. Couple different reasons for that. I think holographics are awesome. I think that is the #1 sight you can buy. The red dot sight is cool. I have one on my Rattler, but I do want another EOTech for my Rattler. The one MOA dot in the middle is pretty cool, especially when you have the magnifier, because it doesn't grow. When you have a dot sight, you can't have less than a 2 MOA. So what that means is if you put a 4-time magnifier on a 2 MOA dot, it becomes an 8 MOA, and it just doesn't look as crisp when you're looking down the sights. So I'm a huge fan of EOTech. I hope Sig makes their own holographic as well. I do like Sig. I'm from New Hampshire. Sig's from New Hampshire, so I'm a little biased. But the Juliet 4 magnifier is nice, especially with this EOTech. 75 yards isn't a lot. That's what my personal range is, 75 yards, and I'll hit White Claws pretty easily from 75 yards when you have that setup going. I feel like you should be able to do that, though. What else do we have here? I have the Ferro Concept Slingster. I really like this. I like the adjustability of it. A lot of slings are now doing this. I've had this one for a little while now, though, so not really old or outdated. They still sell it. I'm a big fan of it. Like I said, Ferro Concept Slingster. And then up front here, everybody loves this, the Sig SRD 762 suppressor. with the quick detach. So what's really nice about this is the quick detach, because I have this. I'll show you right here. So this little muzzle device is what's detachable on it. So when you go to put a suppressor on a gun, you'll see threads on the end of a barrel. If you don't have a muzzle device, that it goes over like this, and this is the little lever right here. You just got to push that down and unscrew it. And as you're shooting, mind you, it's very, very hot as you're shooting. I learned that lesson the hard way the first time, because I had a friend come over and I wanted him to try all of my guns, and I was like, oh, you got to try them with the suppressor on. So we shot 5 from everything. As I went to take this off and put it on my rattler, realized it was very, very hot. So I had to grab an oven mitt, but it ended up working out just fine. It doesn't get too hot to where it's stuck on there. You can just kind of break it free and then twist it off. Like I said, the reason I have the 7.62 is because I have a cross and a rattler. The cross is 308, the rattler is 300 blackout. This is 5.56. You can get these in 300 blackout, and you can also do the barrel swap on them as well. I just bought a rattler instead of doing a barrel swap on this. I do really like this gun though. Sig Sauer MCX, highly recommend it.